Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode from our series, Money After Dark. You're watching the TJ Money Show.
I'm Tamaris Reynolds.
And I am Janae. And today we're talking about
Retirement
plans.
Diving on in.
Yes. So, what are your options during retirement? So, you have 401ks, you have 403bs, you have IRAs from Raw to the regular. And you also have...
People use cash value life insurance as a retirement option, believe it or not.
So tell us more about that.
So if you have a cash value life insurance or whole life, what you can do is it's a policy that you can get where over time the cash builds in there and you can take it out tax free. That's why a lot of people call it a tax-free retirement. That's a great book, by the way, by Patrick Kelly, and I would recommend a lot of people read that book. But that's like a place where you can warehouse money. Now, I would say if you're going to get a cash value life insurance policy, it's better to do it when you're younger because it's more affordable. As you get older, it becomes a lot more expensive. And plus, you got to think about the window that you have as far as your money growing and how it doubles over time.
So one of the great things about the cash value insurance policies is the fact that you have those tax advantages.
Yeah.
Whereas with a 401k or 403b, those are tax deferred accounts.
Right.
So you don't pay taxes now, but you will pay taxes later. So one of the pros with the cash value insurance policies is the fact that when you take the money out, as it grows, you know what you have and what you will have once you take it out.
Right.
Whereas with your 401k or your 403b, what you have right now is not what you're going to have when you go take the money out because you'll be taxed later. The same thing is true with IRAs, unless you have a Roth IRA. With a normal or traditional IRA, you have to pay taxes later. So it's the same scenario with a 401k or 403b. Now with a Roth IRA, you have the ability to pay taxes up front. However, you're still paying taxes. So you want to make sure that when you are planning your retirement and discussing your portfolio with your financial professional, you want to make sure that you not just focus on growth or return, but you also want to make sure that you have an even spread to account for taxes, and you want to have some tax advantage accounts set up for you.
Right. Now, what advice would you give somebody like for me? I'm a 31-year-old male, and say if I want to retire by the time I'm 45, what would you tell somebody in my position?
So someone in your position, I would really ask you about your lifestyle.
Okay.
Because once I know how much you need, then we can look at the time that you have and see how much would you need to save each year in order to hit those goals.
Got you. And a lot of times the way people do it as far as the money you're going to need, I used to tell people what's the average lifespan of people in your family. Not to say that you're not going to outlive them, but that's a good way to look at it. If you want to figure out how long you're going to need your money to last in retirement.
Yeah. As a rule of thumb, I use age 85.
Okay.
And then whenever age they want to retire, is when they want to retire. But as I learned this weekend, in training, it's not so much about how old you want to be, but how much money you have where you can retire and retire comfortably.
Right. And a lot of times I think people in retirement, people are more afraid of outliving their money. Because if you think about it, think about Hallmark. Hallmark has a market now for 100-year-olds because you see a section for 100-year-old cards. So if Hallmark has it, that means a lot of people living a lot longer. So yeah, just make sure you start planning now, especially if you're early 20s, late 30s. Go ahead and get on the ball now. It's not too late. It'll be even better if you're early 20s. That's when it really should start. So
yeah, and just like T was saying, with Hallmark, nowadays, because people are living longer, that's the reason why we have this whole crisis with Social Security. It wasn't meant to be permanent. It was only meant to be temporary. But now, especially, we know that fund that's there is going to shrink because of the fact that it's supporting more people than it was designed to do. So you definitely want to make sure that you're doing your due diligence to plan ahead So that way you're not depending on the government to sustain you during retirement.
Right.
So thank you all for tuning in. Catch us next week for another episode from our new series, Money After Dark. Take care.
Thanks so much.